since an early age. Now since 9-7, I ain't miss a game. Came up with TD and Rod Smith. I was riding with the team when they got the chip. Before the Chevrolets and the Lobster. I remember Elway's helicopter. I'm telling you, that man was a monster. Way before he had his hands on the roster. He turned the Broncos to a powerhouse. So you know I got a shout out to Johnny Elway. He important, man. He the reason that I'm always rocking on his man.
What is up, Broncos Country? How y'all doing today? This is Kev Dan. I'm going to be joined by Tanner tonight on Broncos Orange Weekly for Beer Broncos No BS. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, and I know we've probably heard the reports of all the injuries and everything, and I just want to let you know that it's fine. Everything's fine, and in fact, I even have a picture of practice today, and I just want to say everything's fine. We're all okay. It's going to be fine. But really, I think we'll talk about that, answer your questions, and there's going to be a lot of interesting moves that'll come with this on the roster and everything. So, like I said, I am joined by, let's see if I pull it up, Tanner. How you doing, man?
Hey, doing good, Kev Dan. Good to be back on the Beer Broncos and No BS show. So,
yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Robin does Broncos for Life. How you doing? Completely agree. We got Nisi, if I'm saying your name wrong, I apologize. We love the Broncos too. John, yeah, when will Bronco tickets become affordable? I don't know, man.
That's a good question.
I mean, never. I still have like 8 years to go on the wait list. So
yeah, it's passionate fan base.
Yeah, so we'll see, man. Kevin, you're Kev Man. I'm Kev Dan. Good to meet you too. Beerton, Denver Broncos for Life. Start posting your comments and questions, guys, and we'll start breaking down all the things that you want to talk about. But Tanner, we'll just kind of get started with you. So I know you were only able to listen to the game, but what were some of your takeaways from, especially the first half, when most of our, first, second, third string guys were out there?
Yeah, I thought the first half offense looked good for the most part. Royce Freeman especially came out of the gate, busted a 50-yard run, ended up with 3 carries for 49 yards, average of like 16.8 yards per carry, which is awesome to see. So I thought he had a good night. Joe Flacco looked all right. I think he ended up with 3 for 4 for 19 yards. So he wasn't pressing at all, did his job, looked clean
on one drive. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially one thing I forgot to mention on that Freeman play was the blocking by the offensive line was awesome. I think it was Dalton Reisner and Connor McGovern both just blew up their guys. Really like to see that because that's still one of my worries is the offensive line. But I have a ton of faith in Mike Munchak. If he can't fix this offensive line, nobody can. And then also the story of the first half was the other 2 quarterbacks. You had Kevin Hogan go 3 for 7 for 27 yards. Just didn't do too much. And then Drew Lock, who played a majority of the game, 17 for 28, 180 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 pick. And really one thing I noticed about Lock that a lot of people maybe didn't pick up on was he did a good job of staying composed even when he received a bad snap. There was 2 or 3 different times he had to pick the snap up off the turf.
Yep.
Looked like he had done it a million times. Just picked it up, went through his progressions, threw the ball. I mean, and Drew Lock is a raw talent. He's very talented, very athletic, got the big arm, but he's very raw. And I think the Broncos are doing a great job moving him slowly. I do like the news this week that he's been the kind of the number 2 quarterback finally. That's nice to see. Hopefully that carries over next week into San Francisco. But all in all, I thought the first half was good. I thought the defense looked good. 2 guys on the defensive side of the ball that have been really impressing me so far in the preseason. Sua Cravens.
Yeah.
He's playing really well, and he needs to. And I really like what I've seen out of him because last year, he got banged up, and he just was kind of underwhelming. And then Malik Reed, undrafted out of Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's getting – I think he's got a sack in both the preseason games.
Yeah.
He's constantly getting pressure from the edge. And, with some other guys going down, somebody like him, he can definitely take advantage of that and get a roster spot. So those are 2 guys that have really balled out the first 2 games.
Yeah, and there's, like I said, there's some bright spots for sure. And everyone, if you want to keep posting your comments, questions, we'll start getting to them here in a minute. I know it's only really the first preseason game into preseason, but there's a lot of interesting things going on that's, I think, going to really set the tone for the season. So I know we lost, but remember, guys, it's preseason. I don't care
Yeah.
if we lose 40-0. We're looking for if we win 40-0. Don't care. We're just looking for some of those bright spots and see where the problems are. So we also got Leela. How you doing? Kim, been a fan since 1976, and Bev, missed the Broncos parties. Oh man, say when they lived there in the 70s. We should start having some Broncos parties, man.
Hey,
Just like start going like huge Broncos like block parties, man. I think that'd be awesome.
block parties, set them up. Where's the meeting point between Indiana and Florida? What state would that be? Like,
we also got Sam in here, so welcome to all you guys. And like I said, start posting your comments and questions. Before we get too much further, really quickly, I want to remind you guys that we do have a Patreon. If you guys want to subscribe to that, we do have a new supporter. If I can find it, here we go. Eric Landers is our newest supporter here on Orange Weekly, contributing $10. Huge, because so far he is the only one in the running for this Broncos plaque. If you guys want a chance to win this plaque and receive some exclusive Orange Weekly content that we'll be doing during the season, please go to our patreon.com/Orange Weekly, and you can find our information and contribute whatever you guys want. You get entries into not only this plaque for this month, but every month we'll be giving away some sort of prize, and you get entries into that. And whenever the Broncos win, you get more entries for that month. We got a whole system there to help you guys win if you help support us and whatnot. So, Eric Landers, big thank you to you, man. And like I said, everyone else, go check that out for us. We'd appreciate it. Okay, so moving back into the Broncos talk, I think you hit some key points there. First off, the starting offense, they looked okay. There was one thing that in the offensive line looked better than last year, I got to say. And I know it was their first time on the field altogether, and they were only out there for one drive. But, man, maybe it's because we were playing Seattle or what, I don't know. But I just really wanted to see our offensive line go out and just dominate the Seattle defensive linemen. I just wanted to go out there and see them just roll them over, right? Make these huge rolls for huge holes for our running backs and just make things happen. And they didn't really quite do that. About half the time they did. The other half of the time, the Seattle defensive line just destroyed us, So it's hopefully there's gonna be some improvement there. And it's too early to tell. It was one data point for us to analyze, and like I said, they looked better, but I was just really hoping to see more from those guys right off the bat. I think quarterbacks all looked fairly decent. I do think that Kevin Hogan is going to get pushed down to that probably that practice squad quarterback. After the first game against the Falcons, I really thought that it might be Kevin Hogan as our number 2 because of what Drew Lock was doing. And again, these were just all way too early predictions. But we have seen that improvement from Drew Lock, and I do like what I'm seeing from him in terms of, just his demeanor on the field. And the reason I bring that up is because I'm so glad we let Paxton Lynch go.
thank you.
Because he is a kind of player who will cry on the sidelines at the Raiders stadium when he's not doing very well, but then celebrate like he's winning the Super Bowl in the first preseason game against the majority of players who aren't even going to make the team.
Yep. I mean, he played well. I'll give him that, but it was against third string defense. But yes, he played well, but he can't keep that up against second string, let alone starting defense. And let's be honest, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter, maybe we should have held on to Paxton longer. Well, that guy got every chance in the book. I mean, for one, instead of being in his playbook, he was playing on the joysticks on Madden, which I love Madden as much as anybody, but come on, when you got a job to do, get in there, study, don't play Madden. And 2, I mean, he couldn't beat out Mark Sanchez, Trevor Siemian, Chad Kelly, Brock Osweiler.
Yeah.
I mean, a whole host of quarterbacks. He couldn't beat any of them out. So he had his chance. He was a first-round bust. Now he's third string on Seattle, and that's where he'll be if he even makes the team. Will be third string because Geno Smith's still going to be their backup. So kudos Paxton on a good game against third string defenders. Good job, buddy.
I mean, the only playing time he's going to see this season is on the practice squad.
Yep.
So great for him. I would like to see him cry on the sidelines a little bit more, but as long as it's not with the Broncos, I'm happy. Okay. Leela, tailgating at the games was fun. Been a fan my whole life. Well, I'm glad you're here joining us, Leela. Appreciate fans like you guys. Kim asks, do you think we'll have a winning season under Fangio? And before we do that, Andrew Ferguson, who we call Fergie, is asking if we're going to be giving away something Champ Bailey. And I'll just have to say, you have to keep watching the show. Maybe next month. I don't know.
No Hall of
Probably
Famer.
It's a big year for Champ Bailey. I heard something exciting happened to him.
Yeah, I think he got a new gold jacket in his wardrobe.
Oh man. But yeah, Kim asks, do you think we'll have a winning season under Fangio? And again, early on in the preseason, and we're going to break down some of those injuries we have that could hopefully not damper the mood too much. But Tanner, what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, it's really hard telling this early on, especially since we got a few more weeks in the preseason. But I like everything I've been hearing and reading about the coaching staff coming in, just changing the culture. No more music, or at least it's not played too often at practice because you don't have music in the games while you're on the field.
Right.
Today, for instance, no more Ricky haircuts, which is I know it's a fun little thing, but Coach Fangio's not a fan of hazing, so I'm fine with that. He's strictly a football guy. We needed that after. I'm not even going to mention our last coach's name because I said on the last time I was on the show I wasn't going to do it. So after that terrible era, we need a football guy. So with that said, I think the defense is going to be really, really good. I got some, question marks on offense, still offensive line, and Joe Flacco's play is going to be a big proponent, and wide receiver depth. Hopefully the guys can stay healthy up front on the depth chart and wide receiver. But I will say yes. I will say they will have a winning record this year. So long answer there.
My thing keeps going back to, and I know I've said this a million times, I'm probably going to say it a million more times, but you think back to last season, even the year before that, how many games did we lose because of poor game management from the coaches? From
quite a few.
Vance Joseph. Timeouts that were called that should have been called. Vice versa, the opposite of that. Challenges that shouldn't have been challenged. Things that should have been challenged that weren't. And just that clock management, especially there at the end of the half or the end of the game. So many times it came down to those moments that it was clear Vance Joseph had no idea what he was doing, and we lost from it. And I keep mentioning this, but we lost 6 games last year by 7 points or less, and 3 of those were 3 points or less. So if you just take those 3 games alone, man, we have essentially a winning season. We go from 6-10 to 9-7 right there.
Yeah. Yep.
So we're not that far away from being a winning team, if you ask me. And the discipline that Coach Fangio is bringing back to the team, the intensity or the talent, the raw talent Mike Munchak brings alone, just himself, to the offensive line, and then you just got the rest of the Broncos Mafia there, all the coaches and coordinators. I really think that this is going to be a good year for us. Now, it's not going to be necessarily 12-4, 13-3, I don't think, but it's very reasonable to say, heck, I think 11-5 is realistic, more realistic than I think some people are saying. I know a lot of us are just hoping for 8-8, but I think this is something we can really do as long as we stay healthy. So, with that being said, we got some injuries, man.
Yeah, it's too early for this stuff. I'm telling you. I know it's part of the game, and we haven't lost like a star player, but we still lost a few contributors that are gonna affect, in hindsight, other players making the team that might not have. So
true. I think the biggest one. So if you guys didn't hear, Theo Riddick, the guy we just signed from the Lions, who had 61 receptions as a running back last year, which puts him 11 behind what Emmanuel Sanders had last year. I think he had a shoulder injury.
Yeah, it was on the play. He only played 6 plays, and unfortunately, I'm not blaming this on Kevin Hogan, but he threw a low ball. Theo reached down to get it and got smacked pretty good and fractured his shoulder.
That's not the quarterback's
fault.
No,
it's not, but that stuff happens.
No, it does. It just sucks to see it.
It does.
And so they're saying 6 to 8 weeks.
Yep.
I'm hoping it's closer to that 6 part, so we just play those first 2 games. We'll break down the schedule here later on, but hopefully it's not too long. So that one's kind of the biggest thing. And Tanner, we were talking about beforehand, I think that means Devontae Booker's going to have a roster spot, which
keep the ball off the ground, Devontae. For real, that's all you got to do. Just hold on to it.
It doesn't seem that difficult, right?
It's just every game, even if we recover it, he puts it on the ground. It just drives me insane.
Well, he returned the first kickoff this last game. Remember that?
Yep.
And what did he do? He dropped the football.
I thought they might give him his walking papers right there, but yeah. I mean, he's gonna get every chance. I mean, he won't be cut. He probably won't be cut now because of Theo's injury. But even if he was cut, it would be after the last preseason game, just because of his standard with the team, status with the team. Yeah. So
and we can get into all the rules and regulations later, but it's gonna be interesting to see how we play this out if we put Theo Riddick on IR and see if we can bring him back in the middle of the season, or if we're gonna keep a roster spot open. He's gonna be on the active roster. We're just not gonna have him play, and say he's not playable each game day. Basically, that's eating up a roster spot.
Yep.
So I don't know, man, but it's gonna be interesting to see how we do that. And Alfredo, how you doing, man? Glad to have you on the show. He brings up the next point. I'm more worried about Janovich. That's exactly how I feel, man. Yep. Much more worried. So here we have Scangarillo, who runs a great offense that is primarily focused on running backs and tight ends. And then you bring in Janovich and his injury, which just, helps out the running backs because, whenever he's on the field, the blocks he makes and the space he makes for those running backs is huge to the production from the running backs. And so now we have not only injuries in the running back field, the tight end field, but now Janovich is out too for a while. Man, so Tanner, what do you think is going to do the offense? What is Scangarillo going to have to do?
Yeah, that definitely hurts. I mean, you look at Janovich going out, and now I'm looking up the guy's name so I can George Ashton.
Yep.
Yeah, he's undrafted free agent out of Pittsburgh. Is probably going to make the team as the fullback. Yeah, as long as he produces the next few weeks in preseason. Not too many teams carry a fullback anymore, but the Broncos offense, especially the Shanahan offense, likes to have a fullback in there. And Janovich is one of the best in the league. And I think that really hurts because Janovich is a guy who will give 110% every single play. He's physical. He's a great blocker. And now you got a rookie who's undrafted, and he's going to have to have that pass protection. That's a little nerve-wracking. And I mentioned earlier, one of my fears in this team is the wide receiver depth chart. I like the depth up front with Emmanuel Sanders, Cortland Sutton, even Deshaun Hamilton and Tim Patrick. But if some of those guys start going down, and then, Juwan Winfrey's having a good preseason, but he's going to have to continue playing well. And guys of his stature, because, we're only injury two-way and wide receiver from being right where we were last year, no depth. So the Scangarillo offense is just going to rely on staying healthy, I think. I mean, I'm excited to see what it can do at full strength, but Are we going to get to see it at full strength? I mean, Jake Butts coming back from injury. Hireman and Fumagalli, it looks like they're healthy now, but they were injured last year. Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see it full strength with all the toys in full health, but I don't know if we're going to get to see that. So it is a little nerve-wracking right now.
It is, and hopefully we have a much better idea, obviously, by the first game of the season, what their timelines are, and hopefully it's more like they're going to miss 1 or 2 games at the most, and not the first quarter of the season. Mm-hmm. Let's see, we got David in here. Jackie, go Broncos, fan till I die. So are we. Jackie also says Peyton Manning fan. All of us, obviously. If you meet a Bronco fan that says they don't like Peyton Manning, then they're lying to you. They either do like Peyton Manning, or they're not a Broncos fan.
Yeah, the only ones who might say that are like the ones who are religiously Tim Tebow fans who are mad that we sent him to New York. But come on, Peyton got us to 2 Super Bowls and brought us home Super Bowl 50, or helped with it along with the defense. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, the Tebow year was fun. Don't get me wrong. That was fun. The Pittsburgh game was fun. But it was also, you guys remember how stressful that season was?
Oh, God.
Having to clinch the fourth quarter. I mean, exciting, but I lost 10 years of my life on that year.
I lose a year off my life for every Broncos game I watch. Regular season games.
Yeah.
I should be dead next Tuesday.
Oh.
So Kim, no, thank you. This is what we're doing this for, all you guys out there. My name's Kev Dan. I'm joined by Tanner. You're watching Beer Broncos No BS, and so grab your beer, your booze, your bourbon, whatever you want. Mine is water tonight, but grab a drink and join us and start posting comments and questions. So let's see. What else we got? So Alfredo, hope that answers your questions, guys. If you could share the video for us, we'd really appreciate it. Bring some more people on here and keep the conversation going. Okay, Tanner, one thing that I saw from the starting offense on that first drive. Again, guys, I understand. This is the first real preseason game with the starters out there for the first time all together, minus the injuries. And what worried me is we got down the field. It was messy. They made it happen thanks to Philip Lindsay and a couple of lucky plays, but they made it happen. They moved the ball down the field pretty efficiently. They got first downs. They converted on third downs. But then when we got to about the 5-yard line, all of a sudden the last 2 years of memories came rushing back on that first and goal, the second and goal, third and goal. It just stalled out completely. And that worries me to some degree. Not so much because it happened on that one drive in the last preseason game, but because that's just what we've been the last couple of years. And I am just dying. I just need some proof that that's not going to be us this year.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's going to rely on the tight ends heavily in the red zone and in the outside run game with Lindsey. I think we'll get him a lot of outside runs with pitches and counters to the outside off tackle. But no, I'm right there with you. I thought the same thing. I like you mentioned earlier, I didn't get to watch the game, but I listened to the first half. And Dave Logan and Rick Lewis are always a pleasure to listen to. They're fun. I mean, they're Broncos homers through and through, so it's fun to listen to them. But so it was hard for me to kind of grasp what was going on. I was picturing it in my head, but yeah, it sounded just like the same issue the last 2 years. And got to get 7 when you get in between or past the 20. You got to get 7. I mean, so many times, you already brought it up. How many times last year did we lose those games just by a few points? We play in one of the toughest, if not the toughest division in football, the AFC West. In every game, every win matters, every point matters. I mean, it's going to be tight till the end of the season. So we got to take advantage when we get in red zone and punch it in. So
completely agree, man. Hey guys, keep posting comments, questions. Let's see. We do have a question from who just said it. I saw it. Joshua, how you doing, man? Glad you're watching. Everyone else, again, keep posting your comments, questions for us to break some of this stuff down. What's the scoop on tight end Austin Fort? Yeah. So how bad was his injury? Hold on. I'm just gonna read this. Everything's gonna be fine, guys. It's fine. We're fine. He's not though,
man.
We're so look. Let's be honest. I think Austin Fort, while he was shining, was probably going to be like the third string tight end. But we need some depth there, man.
Yeah, at best. Because you got Fant, Hireman, Butt, and Fumagalli all fighting for spots. I mean, Fort might have found himself on the practice squad, which is still good for an undrafted rookie out of Wyoming. And torn ACL, so he's out for the year, but he tweeted that he's going to come back next year stronger than ever. Hope he comes back next year, and I hope he gives it us all and see what happens. But I hate seeing that. It happens to a lot of good guys, that especially undrafted guys that are fighting to make the team, and it just happens way too often. It's a cruel part of the game, but yeah, torn ACL.
Yeah, so, and I mean, look, Jake Butt alone has enough for 5-6 players to last him a career, right?
You're not kidding.
I really think that, man, if anything, we need Jake Butt like by game 1.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when he was healthy, fully healthy before his last one at Michigan in the Orange Bowl, he was so good when healthy. Yeah. I mean, we wouldn't have got him if he stayed healthy. He would have been probably a second-round pick instead of a fourth. I believe we got him, if not third round. But yeah, it's right. But now he's been through 2 or 3 ACLs since then, and not good. But hopefully this is the year he bounces back, stays healthy, and can really contribute.
I know they're probably taking it really slow and comfortable with him, but I'd like to see him be able to at least do something on the field, even if he's out there for less than a quarter of the offensive plays. But go out there and be able to do something, because we need something from our tight ends the way they're going down right now. So, I mean,
and the Scangarilla offense. Look at it last year. The way he used George Kittle, especially against us. Kittle had like 1,000,000 trillion yards in the first half alone.
I blocked out that game on purpose.
Sorry. So, which will be interesting now that we play San Fran this upcoming Monday. That'll be an interesting little matchup there. But we got the weapons at tight end. Let's just hope they can stay healthy. And Flacco loves his tight ends. Saw that in Baltimore's whole career. So.
Yep. I'm excited to see him come back, and I hope it's this year because we need him for sure. Leela says, love what I'm seeing with Lindsey. I think we all are. I mean, I think we were a little worried about his wrist injury and then him having to go to the chiropractor and what does that all mean? And
Mhm.
it's the preseason, so there's nothing but speculation going on.
Yep.
But he looked pretty good in that opener there last last Thursday. So
Yeah, I like his burst. He
Yeah.
seems to be healthy. Just hope he can stay healthy. A guy of his stature, smaller guy that will take some big hits, but he's tough. He's a bulldog. He's a pit bull. Just hope he can stay healthy.
I'm just
We
sitting
really
here
need him.
crossing my fingers.
I
I
know.
like. I found a 4-leaf clover. I keep it in my pocket all day.
Heads up, Penny.
I
Yeah, whatever.
I
Yeah.
don't cross any black cats.
That's good.
If there's any broken mirror or anything, I'm not breaking mirrors. I'm
Don't
staying away
walk
from
under
that.
ladders. Don't do that.
I'm doing everything I can on my
I like
side.
it. I like it.
Let's see. Josh says, "What can we do for our offense to kick those red zone blues?" He gets them touchdowns and not settling for field goals. And let's not mention Kittle's name, please. Still hurts.
Done.
We all feel that. In fact, just seeing Kittle out there this next Monday night, it's going to be infuriating. Not as much as seeing Paxton Lynch act like he was winning the Super Bowl. I just wanted them to show that video of him crying on the sideline. Anyway, let's go to Josh's question here. Yeah, Tanner, so what can we do? Because I don't know what the problem was last year. It'd be one thing if we couldn't even get a first down. We can't even move the ball. But there were so many times where we could move the ball. And we got all the way down there to the red zone. And then all of a sudden, whatever was clicking stopped. Passes were incomplete. Passes were overthrown. Running wasn't working. The offensive line fell apart. That meant that, running back couldn't get anywhere. Sacks, offensive line couldn't keep the quarterback standing up. But so where do we start? Where do you think the baseline problem is with our red zone offense?
Well, I don't think we've seen it all this year yet because it's still pretty vanilla. But going back to last year, I think it was play calling. It seemed like the play calling switched every time they got in red zone, and they went from being an aggressive offense trying to push the ball downfield to being conservative, and that's just not a winning mindset. That's a let's try not to lose mindset, not a let's go win the game mindset. And I don't think you're going to see that out of the staff. I really think you're going to see a competitive, let's go win the game, let's go make them beat us mindset. But I know this is Rich Scangrillo's first time being an offensive coordinator, but I have high hopes for the guy. I mean, he learned a lot from Kyle Shanahan, so we should see a similar offense to that we saw in the late 90s to mid 2000s in the Shanahan offense when Mike Shanahan was here. We should see something similar to that is built off the run game. Run first, and then you get your play action passes in, you get your bootlegs in. A lot cleaner version of what they were trying to run a few years ago, even a cleaner version of the Kubiak offense. So, I think even though it's going to be run first, I don't think this team's going to be scared to throw the deep ball either. Joe Flacco's got a big arm. You got Emmanuel, who's speedy. You got Cortland Sutton, who's a big wide receiver and can jump. So I'm going to be focusing on the play calling the next few weeks, especially when we get in the red zone. I want to see what they dial up and see how aggressive it gets, because I think the last staff just would go so conservative. It was just, I don't know.
Yeah, third and 8. Let's run up the middle.
Exactly.
It might work.
Exactly.
Probably won't, but it might. They'll never see it coming.
Yeah.
Let's see. Michael says, oh yeah, and Andrew Ferguson, just so you know that you're already eliminated from the prize for any Champ Bailey prize. But yeah, we'll move on to that. Michael, how you doing, bud? He's one of the social media guys here on Orange Weekly. But he asks, what wide receivers, for the exception of Sanders, Sutton, and Hamilton, do you think will rise to the surface to make big play, be a big time playmaker? I want to answer that right off the bat before you take my anything I'm going to say there, Tanner. Tim Patrick.
Yeah,
I think, just from seeing what he did last year alone, I think this guy not only knows that he's kind of on the cusp of making a roster spot, but he has the talent, he has the drive, and he's been showing that through training camp and through the first 2 preseason games. So all of that together, I think he definitely has a shot. And whenever he's out on the field, I hope that the defenses don't take him seriously, because he is so talented. He could be a very big threat.
Yeah, and he's a big target too. He's a big guy. He's a lot bigger guy than I think a lot of people realize. And you remember going back to that Oakland game last year, early in the season, we don't win that game without Tim Patrick making that huge catch and run after the catch, getting the yards after the catch, the yak there. So I like the Tim Patrick answer. Another guy
Of course you do. That's what I said.
Yeah, I mean that's the main answer, but I'll go with 1B and say Juwan Winfrey, assuming he makes the team. I think he'll be more probably of a practice squad guy, but or a fifth wide receiver guy. But he's another one. He's athletic, late round draft pick out of CU there. So yeah, but Tim Patrick's the good answer. Kevin was right. I can't steal his thunder.
I had to beat you to it because I knew that's what you were going to say. So, so let's think about that. So, Alfredo asks another question. I want to get to that here in a second. But how many wide receivers do you think we're going to keep on the active roster, man?
I think 5's a safe bet.
So, I'm kind of thinking the same thing. But we got looking here, Manuel Sanders, Deshaun Hamilton,
Sutton.
Yeah, let's keep Sutton there. We say Tim Patrick. That's 4. Well, then we got Brennan Langley, River Craycraft.
Yeah. Well, I could see 6 if they keep like Winfrey and then Craycraft to be a returner, like a punt returner.
Oh, we're going to talk about that in a second.
I have no idea who the kick and punt returns are going to be. Honestly, like I'm sitting here trying to think in my head and clueless.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. So, guys, just remember that when the last preseason game is over, and we have to cut our roster from 90-something down to 53.
Mm-hmm.
There are going to be some surprising cuts. There have been the last couple of years since they start mandating that or saying that teams don't have to cut players until the end of the preseason. But it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. And before we talk about special teams, Alfredo asked a very good question. That is a highlight of this last week, if you haven't heard. They are trying Carter out in the instead of being in the safety, they're trying him in the inside linebacker position, and which is okay because I don't think he would have made the team if he was still playing that.
I agree.
That safety position. So moving him down there, it sounds like that's what he's always wanted to play, is the inside linebacker. He's a big guy. He's 6'1".
He's big enough and fast enough. It's just how fast can he learn to play that? You know, at the NFL level, it's a little different from being so athletic and so skilled in college. Oh, I can switch position and be fine. NFL, everybody's good there. Everybody's playing for a spot for a reason. But why not? Why not try it? This is the time to experiment. And if he wasn't going to make it a safety, they obviously think highly enough of him to put him somewhere else to see if he can succeed. So I'm all for it.
No, I think especially with the issues, not only the depth we have in the inside linebacker position right now, with us needing people, but it all comes back to that conversation. Can we cover tight ends?
Let me get back with you in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah, no, that's more of an open-ended question based off of the last couple years. But Alfredo, so my thoughts on it, man, if it works and he can stay fast, and he can cover guys and he can learn that position like Tanner's talking about, I think, man, I don't see how it would be a bad deal. Because again, he was not going to make the roster in the safety position. We have 4 or 5 guys back there that we know are going to make the team. So this is the only way he's going to have a shot at a roster spot. Even then, I think he might stay on the 53 man. If he's like a third string kind of inside linebacker and works his way up. But he does have about a month till we get that going for the first game against the Raiders on Monday Night Football. But I think it's nothing but, hey, what else can we do right now? Versus going out and trying to sign someone. So, I think that's a good question there. Brian asks, actually, let's see. Leela says we don't need to be some conservative. Thought of getting rid of Reeves would take care of that. But Tanner, you hit that on the head as well. We just can't be so conservative. And you also said we need to take some chances down the field. Now that's just the way the league is right now.
Right.
Between the pass interference challenge rule that's out there now, and it's just a passing league in general. So it's not as much a, ground and pound, just run it kind of league like it was back in the Terrell Davis days, which is why he got 2,000 yards that year. Because, football back then was more just majorly focused on running. But now we're into this passing kind of league. And if we think that we're going to be able to win games without taking several shots down the field and then making most of those shots work in our favor, we're not going to be winning football games, man.
Yep, yep. And even though we're probably going to be a run-first offense in a
And
passing
that's
league,
fine. That's
no,
fine.
which is fine. That should open up opportunities for the passing game, especially those deep shots. And you have a quarterback in Joe Flacco. You know, everybody can say what they want about him, but he has a strong arm. Nobody can debate that. And he has veteran experience. And, you know, like I said earlier, he's got some big, deep threats to throw to. Emmanuel's not big, but he's speedy.
Oh, yeah.
Cortland Sutton's big. Tim Patrick's big. Noah Fant, he's got some speed for a tight end, and he's big. So that's one I'm real interested to see how they utilize him in the deep pass games, Noah Fant, because he was good at that in college.
It just hopefully that we see Scanlon Guerrero open up the playbook, and we're seeing that apparently today. I was listening to the radio 104.3, and they were talking about how Flacco probably had his best day of practice. What it sounded like. He aired the ball out a couple times. He was making things happen. He was dropping dimes. Both him and Drew Lock were dropping dimes right into the receiver's hands, and that's for this early in the preseason. I know we've had basically an extra week of practice from everyone else, but man, we need it. And if we can get a good rapport between the quarterback and all the receivers and the running backs and the rest of the team, man, that's just going to do nothing but help us out, obviously, for any team, but especially us with, trying to see if Joe Flacco is going to be able to bounce back this year.
And this is a little kind of off topic, but it goes along with camp. When do the Niners come in for that dual practice? Is that tomorrow or Thursday?
I think it's probably Thursday. I'd have to double check, but because it's not a Monday night game, I think they're going to have probably 3 practices and then a day off and game day. So I think Thursday, Friday, Saturday is what I'm guessing right now. I have to look.
Those are always interesting to hear recaps of. And I know Derek Wolf said he's pumped to go out and hit somebody else besides his own teammates. So
exactly. Mm-hmm. I wish they would do this for these. Well, no, this is the second preseason game. It's the third. It's the second for everyone else. It'll be our third, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Ryan asks, why did Holland get cut? Holland's been on the team for a while. I think last year at least.
Yeah, he was.
To be honest, has Holland ever really stood out to you?
No, I mean, they all talk about how good of a pass rusher he can be, how raw and athletic he was. He was really good at Auburn. But to answer his question, I think there's more to that than what we've kind of found out so far or been told. He went undrafted for a reason. I think he had some off the field issues at Auburn, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe there's something going on behind the scenes we haven't been told. Because I was kind of surprised by that too. I didn't know if he'd make the team or not, but I was surprised to see him get waived early on in the preseason, because he did work his way up last year to practice squad, and I think he even got some playing time towards the end of the year when the season was lost. But I think there's more to that story than we've been told. That'd be my guess.
So talking about this, he can be a good pass rusher. We really haven't seen anything from him. One of the things I have not heard a lot of people talking about, and I don't know what this means. Maybe it's not good for him. DeMarcus Walker.
Yeah.
We drafted him pretty high.
Yep.
I was excited, it'd be the next, DeMarcus on the team to kind of follow up and versus DeMarcus Ware.
Yeah.
But he never really did anything. And I think that I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and said that he was another poorly mismanaged player under the Vance Joseph coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
I really think this is his last chance, man, and I haven't heard anything or seen anything of him in the preseason so far. So unless, in the next week or two, he really comes out there and does a lot, I think he's gone, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if he even recorded any stats. He didn't record any stats against Seattle the other night. And then you got a guy like Malik Reed who's playing the same position, had three solo tackles, one assisted, and a sack. I mean, that guy's going out and balling.
Right.
So you got guys at the same position playing really well. I'm kind of there with you. I had high expectations taking him out of Florida State in one of the early rounds, but he just hasn't produced. And just one of those misses, I think, unfortunately. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully he proves me wrong the next few weeks. But as of right now, I don't like his chances of making the 53-man roster.
And I don't want to say it was a miss. I think
the
way he was evaluated and the reason we drafted him was very good. I think that he basically was mismanaged the last 2 years, didn't get a lot of experience, and now nobody wants him for it. And he just, when other people out there who do have experience, or at least not as rusty as he's been, obviously they're going to look a lot better. And I think that he is another casualty from Vance Joseph. Don't even get me started on.
Last year, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he have trouble learning how to play special teams? Because they pretty much told him if he couldn't play special teams, he wasn't going to play.
That question is hilarious to me because didn't the whole team have problem learning special teams
You're
last
right,
year?
But yeah, okay, yeah, you got me there. So, yeah,
I know what you're talking about. I do know what you're talking about.
Because I think there was a lot of games he didn't even dress last year because of that fact. He just couldn't even play kick coverage or punt coverage.
Right.
So,
not to say that anyone really can right now.
Yeah. Hey, special teams. We could spend an hour talking about special teams.
We're putting Booker out there to see what he can do. McKnight almost dropped it. Let's see, who was it? Yeah, I think he had a bad punt and it was bad. I don't know. Nothing from the return game is even
the other night
exciting me. The
returners, we had Booker had one return for 12 yards, then he fumbled. River Craycraft one for 17. Kafani Muhammad had one for 24 yards. Then Devontae Jackson had two for 32 yards. And then punt returners, you had Craycraft Field 2 for 5 yards. Kelvin McKnight 2 for a loss of 2 yards. And Nick Williams 1 return for 2 yards. So it looks like there's quite a battle going on for kick returner and punt returner.
We're going to get back to that because I have some more questions, but I know there's a couple other questions here. Everyone, my name's Kev Dan. I'm joined here by Tanner. This is Beer Broncos No BS, and we're going to call it as we see it. So keep posting your comments, questions, hit that share button for us. We really appreciate it. Don't forget that we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/Orange Weekly. We love any of your guys' support. Not only will it get you exclusive content from us, but also enter you into winning some monthly prizes, which we all love free stuff. Carol says, sorry took a while to get to your question, Carol. Hopefully you're still watching, but she says, we need a QB like John Elway and Peyton Manning. I just know we're going to take the Super Bowl this year because I think the QB will take us all the way and win it. Go Broncos, 100% agree. So, Peyton Manning, John Elway, game managers. Do you think Joe Flacco has that same ability, just being an on-field game manager?
Yeah, he can be an on-field game manager. And, he is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but he doesn't have the raw talent that Elway had or the football IQ that nobody has the brain that Peyton Manning had. That's where Peyton won a lot of plays before the ball was even snapped, just at the line of scrimmage. But I do like that he has that veteran presence, and I'm a lot more confident in him than Case Keenum, for sure. And Trevor Siemian the year before that. And the year before that. So, and all the rest of the quarterbacks that were thrown in there. I'm not going to go down the list. Yeah. That's really high praise, putting him in the category of Peyton Manning and John Elway. But I do think Flacco can have a good season. But I think our season depends largely on his success. So, good question.
And I think his success is determined by the offensive line.
Yep.
I think the running backs production this year is going to be based off the offensive line, which all comes down to why I'm so glad we have Mike Munchak, because you said earlier,
no doubt,
and I've said before, if Mike Munchak can't get this offensive line right, then nobody can, and then it's a player problem.
If he can't get number 72 to stop holding,
this is his last
then nobody can. Yeah. Oh, no doubt. And I'm still not calling. I'm calling him Garrett Holds until he proves it to me. I will not call him by his actual name
in the regular season. Proves it to me in the regular season.
Yes, I don't. Yeah, he can.
Okay. Keith says, "Hey guys, good to hear from you." Keith, good to see you as well, man. Glad to be back. Broncos football is here, and I've been bored the last several months. So let's see. Ryan says, "Just waiting for Joe to show the arm," and completely agree. It sounds like he was doing it today in practice, but I want to see it on the field. So. See, I have a question about that. But Ryan says, rumors about Clowney possibly to be traded to the right price. What's your take? I've not heard anything about that, but Tanner, do you have any facts?
Yeah, I have heard it's going to be pricey. The only team I've heard that has shown a lot of interest in Miami. Not sure the connection there or anything or the cap space, but I think he would be out of our price range, to be honest. That'd be pretty pricey.
Ryan also says 72's name is apparently Gumballs.
Hey, that works for me.
I'm okay with that.
I like it.
He just sticks to the player and can't let go.
That's great. I like that.
That I don't know if Garrett Holds is better or Gumballs. I might steal the
Man.
Gumballs name.
Oh, that's good. Oh man, that's good.
Okay, let's see. I had a couple other things. And you guys keep posting your comments, questions, and we'll get to them as soon as we can. Appreciate you guys joining us here tonight. Okay. Special teams. Let's spend a little bit of time talking about this.
Yeah, I guess we have to.
What is the underlying problem? Because, I mean, we've had this problem the last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. We just can't be consistent on special.
Yeah.
And this year it's very reminiscent, just like that whole, us stalling in the red zone.
Yeah.
And I mean, it seems like we're trying everyone. I mean, somebody is punting the ball or returning the punt or returning the kick on every single one. We're trying to find somebody that has a spark, that has good, can read the field well, make a good return, or just make a good decision in general, i.e. not Booker. But so what's the problem there, man? What's holding us back for this long?
That's a great question. I mean, we have the same special teams as Coach McMahon. He's back again. He did a great job in Indy, so I know he can do it. I just don't know if our, second string and third string guys are they that bad compared to everybody else as a special team? I don't think so. Besides McManus, who at points last year struggled himself, besides him, we don't really have anything solid. I mean, we can't find that returner that can safely make the right decision or right play on punt return. We had Isaiah McKenzie, who sure he could take it to the house at any moment, but he was going to drop it on the ball on the ground once out of every 5 plays. Kind of like Trenton Holiday used to do.
Yep.
Guy was electric, but he couldn't hang on to the ball. Then you had Pac-Man Jones, veteran last year, couldn't stay healthy and didn't make the brightest decisions with the ball either. So maybe that's where River Craycraft, I'm thinking, could step in and maybe make the right decisions. But is he electric enough to be able to take one to the house? I'm not sure. And then how about the punting? Colby Wadman didn't have his best outing the other night. He had let's see here, 3 punts for 140 yards. So that's 46.7 average. He had 2 inside the 20.
That's a little bit better than what he did last year.
Yeah.
He had an average of 44.5 last year. Now that was for the whole season though, and he took over a little bit halfway there. But
last year we tried to go out and get the King, Marquette King. He lasted 4 weeks because he couldn't keep his mouth shut, and he punted terribly for the 2-year deal we signed him to. So he didn't last long. And I don't know.
Has anyone signed him?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so either.
I don't believe so.
He's a piece of work. Okay.
Oh, he was something. That's putting it nicely. But yeah, it'll be interesting because didn't we brought in a punter a couple weeks ago from Green Bay, didn't we?
Yeah, and then we cut him within 3 or 4 days.
I missed that. So.
I can't even remember his name. We brought him in, he tried, and then we said, nope, never mind.
But, punters got to keep, they got to come out solid and be consistent because there's a lot of punters. Very few punters get drafted. Right. So there's a lot of punters out there itching for a job. I mean, they could be bagging groceries and punting on the side to stay fresh. And, you can lose your job and get taken by somebody else in a blink of an eye in the NFL, especially punting and kicking. So I don't know. I think he needs to be a little more consistent throughout the preseason to safely keep his job. But
why aren't we going out and trying other punters? We're so apparent at, willing to plug in anybody for a kick return or a punt return, which is fine. Well, why aren't we doing that for punters as well?
Yeah, and we picked up a guy yesterday, a cornerback. We don't need more cornerbacks.
No. Are you kidding me? Half this page is listed with cornerbacks.
I know. I don't understand that either. And I wish I had better answers to why the special teams are having struggles, but I just haven't watched it close enough, and it didn't help that I didn't get to see the last game. But
have you seen Broncos football in the last 2 years?
Oh, that's a good point.
You've seen our special teams.
So many times games can be won due to your special teams play. I mean, special teams play is so underrated in the sport of football, and just little things like that. It's little things for keeping us 6-10, 5-11 instead of 10-6, 11-5. I mean, it's just little things.
I mean, we were at the bottom of the NFL. We were ranked number 32 last year in punt returns. We averaged 4.4 yards a game.
Yeah,
0 touchdowns. The longest punt return we had last year was 20 yards.
That's pathetic.
20 yards. No wonder we're ranked 32.
Get lucky once in a while and break one for like 40. I mean, jeez.
Kickoff return, 0 touchdowns again. Average was 20.1. Long was 35. and we were
Yeah.
27. There were teams that were worse than us.
You
but
know,
we were
really,
27.
the last returner we had that I thought was a pretty good at punt and kick was Omar Bolden a
Yeah.
couple years ago, and then we let him go. Then he went to the Bears, and I don't think he's in the league anymore. So I don't know. We just can't seem to find that guy to stick around for multiple years. Hopefully, we do soon.
Let's move on past the special teams talk, because you're right. We could spend an hour breaking down
Yeah,
every
it's
position.
just maddening.
This has to be fixed.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting here saying that we can go 11-5, not with the special teams we have, I'm
Nope.
sorry. There's just no way.
Nope.
8-8 is best with the special teams we have.
I agree 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
Keith's asking about Carter again, Jamal Carter. Yeah, we already talked about it, man, but long story short, we like it. He's not going to make the team otherwise, and it's something he's always wanted to do. So putting him in that inside linebacker position is something that really it's his only chance to make this team. But if he can, big question is if he can cover tight end, if he can stick with people and make good plays. The question that Tanner brought up was, can he learn being an inside linebacker quick enough for the NFL standards? So we did talk about that earlier if you want to go back and listen to that. But do appreciate your question, Keith. Good to see you. Victor, what's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you. Okay, let's see. Vicky, how you doing? Diehard Broncos fan, just like the rest of us. Love it. Love talking to you guys. Ryan, how many cornerbacks do we have that are good, and how many can we afford to lose? We need depth and backup. So we have obviously Chris Harris Jr. He's not going anywhere, hopefully, at least for this year. Also looking at Kareem Jackson. I think he's
playing more safety right now, but he can play both.
Isaac Yiadom.
Yep. Bryce Callahan,
Justin Simmons, Will Parks. Or no, those are safeties. I'm sorry.
Safeties, yep.
I was like, that's not right.
Yep.
Let's see.
We got who's that guy
Bosby?
we picked up from the AAF? Yep, Bosby from the AAF. Yep.
So I'm seeing 4 solid ones. I mean, we can maybe hold on. I don't know who's going to be on the practice squad or who we're going to keep. But between Trey Johnson, Horace Richardson, Lennon Stevens, and Elijah Holder, those are the other ones listed. But I think between Bosby, Callahan, CHJ, let's see, Kareem Jackson, he says more safety. But we got Isaac Yiadom. That's 4 right there. What do you think about that depth?
Yeah, I think Bosby will be the last corner to make the 53-man roster, in my opinion. If we can have 5 solid ones, that's pretty good. It's hard to find. And then you got some safeties that could rotate in there if needed. Kareem Jackson, Parks, and Simmons, I don't think can really play corner, and I doubt Cravens. I think Cravens could play more linebacker than anything besides safety.
Right.
But no, I think if we can find those, if we're fine with going with those 5, I think that's pretty solid.
Oh, we got a question. Does River Craycraft make the team? Man, I don't.
It only as a returner. If he can wow the staff as return, I think that's his only chance.
And the funny thing is, I was saying the same thing about Winfrey 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I mean, I
think Winfrey has shown that he can make some plays.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do right now in the preseason. You got to go out, take advantage of your opportunities, and just make plays. Wow the staff.
Right.
And maybe he's playing good in practice. I don't know. I don't see practice, every day. So.
Man, I'm just curious to see how this is going to play out. I really am. I'm not necessarily wanting us to rush to the end of preseason, but there's a lot of good questions here that we just don't know how they're going to be answered until we get the final 53-man roster.
And hopefully every week we get a better idea. I mean, hopefully after next Monday's game against San Francisco, we get a better clue and idea. So
exactly. Ryan says, wish we had kept King, but Vance Joseph's coach messed with his kicking. Look, if this is a year ago conversation, but King did so well in Oakland or with the Raiders that he came over here and he's trying to blame it on us changing how he was kicking, maybe, but then why didn't he just go out and then do his normal kicking during the game?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I didn't like him as a person anyway.
No,
just the way he handled himself.
He was a guy I really did not like at all on the Raiders. Not that I like any Raiders, but I really didn't like him. And it took me a long time to warm up to him as a Bronco. And then he was only around for 4 weeks. And how he treated the guys on 104.3 The Fan last year, I thought that was pretty disrespectful. That was kind of the first straw for me. And then he just didn't perform for how much we were paying him for a 2-year contract. Just wasn't getting it done. And John didn't waste any time. 4 weeks, he wasn't producing, out. So that tells me he was a cancer in the locker room.
I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah.
End of story. We need a better punter than Wadman. I love Wadman and his story. He's delivering pizzas one day, and the next thing you know, he's signed with the Broncos.
Sure,
punter. But we need somebody more consistent. But Andy does say if we have a good offense that drives down the field, the punters wouldn't be an issue. Not wrong.
No, he's not.
But
no, I mean,
what about those situations? And Andy, you're right. I'm not saying you're not, but what about those situations where in a close game, and we need to pin the other team down back at inside their 20, with about a minute and a half left to keep them from scoring, and then all of a sudden, there we are. We get the punt down to the 40, and now they're basically already in field goal. So,
yeah,
I see what you're saying, but you still have to have a solid punter to rely on. And just Wadman, as much as I like him, I don't think he's that guy.
No, I don't either. Unless he can come out and prove it around the next few weeks. But
yeah. Let's see. He also asks, what do you think of the O-line so far? I know we've already talked about it. And a couple more questions, guys, and we'll start wrapping up. But, Tanner, if you want to kind of recap, what are your thoughts on the O-line?
Yeah, I mean, it's, we've only had a small sample size so far. We really won't see the starters play a ton until the third preseason game, which is against the Rams. But at times, I really like what I see out of the starters. Now, the backups, not so much. The backups, the second string line, hopefully we don't have to rely on too many of those guys. Hopefully the 5 can stay healthy in Juwan James, Ronald Leary, Connor McGovern, Dalton Reisner, and Garrett Holds. Hopefully, or Gumball.
Gumballs.
Gumballs. Yeah, Gumballs. So, I just have a ton of faith in Mike Munchak. He's, known around the league as one of the best, if not the best, offensive line coach. He did a great job in Pittsburgh all those years. And it's just so rare when we bring in a guy and he's one of our candidates to be our head coach and he's the runner-up, and yet we still get him on the staff as a position coach. That never happens. I think that is such a blessing in disguise that the media is just not talking about enough. It could really be huge for the Broncos this year. And I think I hope we see a nasty offensive line. And I think Dalton Reisner is going to bring some of that. Just some nastiness.
He's going to be deadly out there, man.
I mean, I think Garrett Holds, that's why when we drafted him, I was like, okay, this could be all right, because on film, he was nasty in college. Connor McGovern has some nasty side. I think they all do. We just got to get it out of them, keep them healthy, and keep them clean. Clean by what I mean by clean is no penalties. Penalties were killers last year. Stop holding, even though I know holding happens with every single play in the NFL, but just stop holding or stop getting caught holding.
Right.
And
be sneaky about it.
Because the last 2 years, those have been drive killers. We get a big game, we get a first down. Nope, coming back, lose 10 yards. So, I just to answer your question, I got my faith in Mike Munchak to figure this out.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's going to be a big year for the offensive line in general.
No, absolutely.
In that, either they're going to go out there and they're going to do fantastic. They're going to be in the top 10 easily in terms of offensive lines across the NFL, or they're going to be a bomb.
And I'll go out and say if they're top 10, our playoff chances are really, really, really good.
Yeah,
really good.
Completely agree. Well, let's say they go out there and they don't do well. Let's say they're bottom third of the NFL, kind of like we have been.
Yeah.
The reason it's big is because we have identified the problem. It is not the O-line coach.
It personnel.
Is purely not the coordinator, because no one is better than Mike Munchak. So, hey, at that point, that's it. We need to start cutting and retrying, because it is clearly not. You can't sit there and say, well, maybe it's the coaching staff. It is not the coaching staff at all.
And really, this is a problem that stemmed back from even when Peyton Manning was here. I mean, Peyton Manning was just so good football smarts. He made up for a lot of mistakes that the O-line couldn't correct. I mean, really, the best O-line we've had in recent memory goes back to when Tim Tebow was quarterback, and that was more of a run-built offensive line, which I know will be a run-first team this year. But, I like the 5 guys on paper. McGovern needs to get a little bit more consistent with his snapping.
He needs to keep getting better, but yeah, he is.
Yep, but I like what I see out of him, and That'll be a story that or a topic we have to keep our eye on all season long.
The thing that excites me is just like you said, we got Reisner. We have invested
Yeah.
in our offensive line. We have spent a high draft pick getting somebody who can be a foundation in our offensive.
And we threw a lot of money at Juwan James. That was a lot of money for a tackle. You don't throw that much money at a guy.
Random free agents plug and play, and nobody signed him yet, so maybe we can just plug him in there.
Yep.
No, we have definitely invested the
offense. No more Menelik Watsons.
Oh God, no. I think I've seen enough of players like him.
Yeah.
Nathan asked a good question. I think the answer is no, but do you think there's any free agents that we could pick up to make an impact on our very non-existent return game? We haven't had one since Trenton Holiday. Completely agree, but I just don't know.
Not that I can think of. I don't. I mean, I'm sure there's some good returns out there. Heck, you can go up to the CFL and get a good returner, but they got to come in and prove it. They got to take care of the ball. I mean, I'm sure there is somebody out there. I just don't know any off the top of my head.
Again, why aren't we trying that now?
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean,
we tried everyone on the team, and nobody seems like
this
they've got what it takes. So
this is the time to do it. You don't want to be experimenting in the regular season.
I mean, we need to go out. Yeah. So why aren't we being a little more? Why have we not signed 2 more people that exclusively will be trying out on kick and punt returns? Oh yeah, and another punter.
That's a great question.
I mean, we're cutting people like Holiday for somebody else. I can't even remember his name right now. Rashad something.
Cut Jeff Holland, pick up a cornerback, which I don't think we need another corner, but
I don't know.
Maybe he can return. I don't know. Maybe I have no idea. I know nothing about the guy. So
they're doing some interesting things. Maybe that's just not their focus right now.
Yeah.
I do think that if we don't invest in that either, or at least try to keep trying things until we find something that works, and we're just going to be, doing the same thing over and over again, and that's not good.
Yep.
Keith, I think this is the last question. Is it illegal to tape Bowles' hands like mittens? I don't know. Is that?
If not, let's do it ASAP.
I want to look that up. I want to see if it's in the rule book that says you cannot, tape your hands together to prevent from holding.
The guys, you can see it. He's got talent. He's got good footwork most of the time. It's just he can't stop freaking holding.
Maybe he just loves everyone so much.
And I understand this is only his 3rd year in the league, but this is make it or break it time for him because unlike most 3rd-year players, he's pretty old for a 3rd-year player.
Yeah.
I think he's 26 already.
He was drafted when he was – no, I think he was drafted a little later than that. Wasn't he like 25 when he was drafted?
No, I will look that up real quick.
I can't remember, but I think Garrett Bowles, Gumballs, whatever.
He is 27. He just turned 27 in May. 27. So usually your 3rd-year players are 24, 25 at the oldest. So yeah, I mean that's pretty big time.
That's I think this is last year though.
Yeah,
show what he's got.
Exactly. If he can't show improvement this year and be the player we all think he's capable of being, sorry, it's time to. You hit the nail on the head earlier. It said if the offensive line doesn't improve this year, heads are going to roll. It's time to rebuild the line pretty much through and through. Besides Juwan James, because we are paying him too much money. He's going to be back next year, barring injury. So.
Let's see. Brandon Left Eye Jenkins. I want to name that cool.
That's pretty cool.
He's telling his friend, check this out. Alfredo, what games will be attending this year? Probably none, unfortunately. Still down here in Florida, and you're up in Indiana there?
Yeah, I am going to the Indianapolis game. We're at Indy, and I don't know if I'm going to do this other one, but I'm thinking about making a road trip up to Minnesota. I'd like to check out that stadium.
You could be our on-site reporter.
Yeah, I do know an Orange Weekly member that you'll see on the post-game podcast once we get that rolling. Jeff, he's going to be in Oakland for week 1.
That's a good question. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So let's break this down really quickly as we start wrapping this up, guys. First off, thanks to all of you who have joined us today. Again, hit that share button even though it's ending. But we got I want to look at the schedule, man. You got a few minutes.
Yep, sure.
Let's open up the schedule here. And
I think I know most of it off the top of my head. That's kind of sad.
I know, right? You've looked at it so many times.
Yeah.
First road game we've had to open the season in a while. But
it's the first one in like 11 years.
Yeah. I mean, but it's the Raiders.
Last year in Oakland, Monday night, it's the 10:30 Eastern kickoff. That's pretty exciting stuff. Doesn't get much better.
And then we take on the Northeast with the Bears, or let's see, the Midwest.
AFC North.
Yeah, so with the Bears and the Packers.
Fangio's former team in the Bears, they should be pretty good. I hear a lot of Bears talk where I live in northern Indiana, so expectations are high in the Windy City. Then the Packers, they're going to always have a chance as long as they have Aaron Rodgers. I think a lot of people forget Aaron Rodgers was battling injuries all season long. Lambeau's not an easy place to play, but I think we could steal one there if we play well.
You think the injuries are going to be a factor, or based off the injuries we have right now, assuming none of them come back by that third game?
Yeah, I would feel more comfortable if we had Janovich and Riddick out there.
Okay.
But
well, that could be the earliest return game, I think. Yeah. That's
because Riddick's. You got to remember, Riddick's very familiar with the Packers. He used to play him twice a year.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I think we could. What do you think the odds are that we go 3-0 start the season? Way too early prediction.
Yeah, I don't like the odds to go 3-0. Like 2-1 maybe. I don't know which game either. But I think we'll slip up in one of the first 3 games. I don't know which one. Yeah.
I don't like that. If we go 2-1 in the first 3 games, I think that's going to set a bad rest.
That week 3 game really worries me at Lambeau. But we'll see.
Sunday morning too.
Yeah.
And okay, well,
we don't play good on the 1:00 Eastern starts.
So okay, that just I just remember that. Was that a Vance Joseph issue?
Gary Kubiak's team struggled a little bit with that, but also Peyton Manning got a lot of wins. So, but no, Vance Joseph, I don't know if he ever had a 1:00 win. I don't think he did.
He might have had one.
Cincinnati last year.
Yeah.
Yep. He had one. Yep.
1 in 2 years.
Thanks to Philip Lindsay just running wild on the Bengals defense.
This is something we need to break down in the next show, man. We got some interesting things that I don't want to compare this team to the Vance Joseph era, but at the same time,
I know
there's some similarities through the first preseason game. Well, we've had the 2, but the first official one that just make me a little nervous.
Well, and looking at the schedule, I think getting off to a hot start's key. But we've actually did that under I should not name anymore, the previous head coach. We actually got off to good starts both last year and then just folded. So, but I really think, look at the schedule, we really have to get off to a good start because it gets pretty hard as it goes on.
Would it be better if we go 2-1, then 3-1, then 4-1?
Absolutely.
That means we have to steal a game from the Chargers on the road.
Yeah, well, it'll be Mile High West out in California because they play in that Cracker Jack box of a stadium still. So we'll fill that thing up. We got to win there last year.
True.
So
wasn't that because Philip Rivers didn't know what to do at the end of the game?
Yeah, Phyllis blew it. I forget exactly what happened. He just threw it into the ground.
He threw it to the ground.
Back.
Yeah, it was like 4th down or something, and he could have ran for it or something. He just threw it. He just plopped it on the ground in front of him.
Glorious. Yeah.
Oh man, this is gonna be a fun season, man.
Yeah, I know it.
Travis says, "Let's go Broncos all the way." Joe Flacco. We got some interesting things to watch. Walt, I don't know why you're on this. Let's go Chiefs.
No, get out of here, Walt.
Come on, Walt. What are you doing, man?
Trying
to troll us. I think if we have Chiefs fan watching the shows, then it's time for us to head on.
How's your Super Bowl?
Oh,
sorry.
So rusty.
Sorry.
So rusty. Oh man, good point.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is gonna be a fun season. I love this Smack Talk. Okay, Tanner. Any closing thoughts over to you, bud?
Oh, it's just always fun to talk Bronco football with you, Kev, and everybody here on the Beer Broncos and No BS show. I always enjoy hopping on when I can. Just look for all the Orange Weekly content that'll be coming out, especially when the regular season starts. We're gonna have 2 weekly podcasts, pregame, postgame, 2 weekly shows going on. Did you got a plug for that for tomorrow?
Oh yes, I was gonna do it in my closing statement, but that's okay. Tomorrow night we got our Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Wednesday night show on getvocal.com that will also be broadcast to Facebook as well. But if you want the option to hop up on stage with us, if you will, and call in, whether it's through the video or just through your voice, that's fine too. But you can have a conversation with us, kind of like what Tanner and I are doing right now, and we'd love to hear from you guys. So 7 p.m. Mountain Time on Wednesday, We'll do that again. Wednesday shows starting the week before the regular season, and then every week. So once the regular season starts, actually the week before the regular season, we got a Tuesday night show and a Wednesday night show, both at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Wednesday night show is for you guys, give you a chance to come up on stage and talk to us.
And you have a special guest tomorrow, right?
Oh,
Jordan?
yes. I'm going to leave that a secret because it's pretty special.
Ah, there we go.
If I just spill the beans, then Noah's going to be intrigued.
True, that's true.
Maybe it's John Elway. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
Ooh. Hey, dude.
Is that considered lying?
Nah.
It is a cool guest. He's been on the show before.
Our
but
guest will be honored that you compared him with John Elway.
I'll tell him. I'm sure he heard it, but I'll make sure I tell him. Cool, man. Yeah, we got a lot of good things. For me, oof. Oh, last question from me. For this next preseason games, do we see any starters at all?
Yeah, I think we see. I'm going to go 2 series out of the starters. I'll
Really?
bump it up. Yep.
Even with our injuries?
Yep.
Interesting.
I think you got it. You got to get the reps, get live action. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm just interested to see the matchup. Scangarello against his former staff there, San Francisco. Kyle Shanahan, the guy I wanted instead of Dow, I should not name, or past head coach. The Shanahan name still glory around Denver. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun. It'll be nice to just watch him on TV again at Mile High Stadium.
Right. I mean, the only games I can really just relax and enjoy watching are.
Oh, you're 100% right.
Once it's the first regular season game,
no time.
Again, I start losing a year off my life each game.
Yep.
I keep saying that this year I'm not going to be like wild and fanatic and yelling at the TV.
It gets worse every year, doesn't it?
That's just a lie. Yeah. I know that I'm just lying to myself.
Well, at least you're you're
honest.
upfront with yourself and you're honest. So. Yeah.
Okay, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night on the good, the bad, and the ugly on getvocal.com. Tanner, thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
Yep.
We'll be pushing your podcast as well. Make sure you guys check out, what was it? J-Man and Tate.
The Tate and J-Man show. Records every Monday, 6:30 to 7:30 on the ISC Sports Network app. So it's live, 6:30, 7:30. So download that app
for free. Connections, man. We need to get on that. Okay, well, Von Miller will not retire this season. Your Chiefs are going to have to deal with him for a while. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say tonight, guys. We got a special word from, let's see, where's his video? Shelby Harris has something to tell you guys all Broncos country. With that being said, we'll see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Thanks for everything. Enjoy the show. Enjoy your night. And go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
Hey guys, Shelby Harris here from the Denver Broncos. Just want to give a huge shout out to the podcast Orange Weekly. They do great work and they have great content regarding the Broncos. Also, huge shout out to all the Denver Broncos fans out there. You guys have really just made my time in Denver amazing. And also, even when we were losing last year, you guys came out every game. So thank you guys, and I appreciate you.
Came up with TD and Ross Smith.